welcome back to my channel. It is Ajane K here, back with another video. AJ Beauty. I have my lovely model here to help demonstrate a brow tutorial today. So right here I am starting to moisturize and prime her face. One of the primers I'm using is by e.l.f. It is the mattifying put primer, and I'm just using a sponge to apply that all over her face. Now I like to moisturize and prime before I start with anything on the face, because you always want to start with a nice smooth foundation, especially right now during the winter time. If her skin is dry, you can get a lot of flakiness around the brow area, and you do not want that to happen. Right here, I am going to go in with a spike pencil by MAC Cosmetics. It is one of my holy grails that I love using. It is a nice true brown shade. Every day goes with most of my clients' eyebrow color. So I'm just brushing her hairs up, making sure everything is even. And I'm using the other side to actually start to map out her brow shape. And I'm lightly using light strokes, not going in too heavy. And right here you can see how I would properly map out an eyebrow on my client, making sure that it doesn't go too far inward, doesn't go too outward on her face, and the arch is just perfect in the arch of her eye area. This is the part that I really like to concentrate on in the arch area. I go in with a little heavier hand just to make sure that I deepen that area out, because I always love to create a ombre illusion, if that makes sense. Like, I want it lighter in the front of the brow, going darker toward the end of the brow. And as you can see, I'm just going over my work, making sure I brush out. This way I can fill in any gaps that may need to be filled in more. And if you haven't noticed, I am looking back and forth to the other brow to make sure that I can create the same shape easily, and I'm not going up too high, and making sure that it's still going to give a natural eyebrow look. Now moving on to the fun part, I am going to conceal her brows using these two shades by Tarte Shape Tape. And I am going in with medium golden tan and deep sand, I believe. And people always ask me, why do I mix when it comes to concealers or foundations? Honestly, it's my preference. I feel like I get the best match when I just eyeball a shade, and it always comes out looking perfect on my client. It's just what I'm feeling at the moment, but I'm going in with these two shades, and I'm gonna just mix them on my palette. And while we're also getting into it, the two brushes I am using, the flat brush for concealer, I actually got from an arts and crafts store. I actually love using really bigger, thin, defined brushes like these. I feel like you don't have to go with the really expensive ones. The really cheap ones are really usable, and I actually like them best. And to actually blend this out, the rounder blending brush is by Real Techniques, and it's actually one of my faves to blend out under eye concealer, well, under eyebrow concealer. So the key part of blending out concealer underneath the brow area is I pull it down. I don't just focus keeping it in one area, because that's how you create that halo, like that real ashy, like not blended look. Like, I call it the halo brow, and we're not going to do that. We're going to eliminate that. We're going to make sure everything is blended and everything is looking right, and she's going to have a cute little snatch brow. So it was a little hard and a struggle for me to record at this angle so you guys can see everything that I'm doing and being able to snatch her brow from this angle. But I could say I was doing a pretty good job. So I'm going in with the warmer concealer shade on the top part of her brow. So that was the shade in Deep Sand, and I'm just using that to create a more natural brow look, so it's not too light You want to just make that underbrow area pop a little bit more. I always let the concealer sit for maybe a couple minutes, not even minutes, maybe seconds at a time. So as you can see, I'm now blending out that underbrow area where I first placed the concealer at, because dealing with Tarte Shape Tape concealer, I love to let it sit for a second, because when you blend it out, to me, it just gives a more like blendable, matte, very full coverage look. And as you can see, it's looking like it's melting right into her skin. The key focus is to blend, blend, and blend. So now I'm gonna just go back in with the spoolie side of the pencil and just brush that product a little outward to the front of the brow, so it can really create that nice ombre look. And I love to finish the brow off with a little brow gel. So this one's by NYX Cosmetics. I think this is in dark brown, I believe. And this just really helps place any bushy hairs or curly hairs, or just like keep the hairs in place. Or if I want to feel like I want that color to pop a little bit more and create a really true brown look with the brows, I just add this on top. Now I feel like the part where people get more discouraged when doing brows is they put too much pressure on themselves when trying to get both brows to match. But honestly, I will say everyone, well, majority of everyone has different eyebrows. One eyebrow is your good one eyebrow is your not so easy one. And some people can have a higher arch on one, and some people can have the perfect arch. It's just all about knowing your client's eyebrow shapes, or even knowing your own eyebrow shapes. And sometimes the brows will just have to look like sisters and not twins. It's sometimes it is what it is, but you just have to try to get it in sync as possible. What helps me the most is to be able to look back and forth between both brows as I'm going. A lot of people make the habit of just focusing on only one side, when in reality it's best to look at the opposite side and take note of how far you're taking the arch, or how thick you're making the brow. So everything is very important. So right here, you can see how the brow shape is coming into place. It's coming into form. I don't know if y'all remember that that Vine video, but yes, it's coming into form, and it's a pretty good shape without, going in with concealer. So that's where I want to get the brow at. I want the shape to look nice before having to use concealer, because if the shape is looking crazy, that means you have to go in with extra product and use extra concealer to actually get the shape that you want. So I always want to go in with a good shape before going in with concealer. Now I know everyone has different techniques and everyone is different. When applying the concealer, I like to use nice, long, even strokes. I find it easier to do that. It makes it less easy for me to make a mistake when I do it this way. And like I said, just using a nice, thin, precise brush like this just makes it, like the cut process, way easier and way more defined. I don't know about y'all, but this part makes me so happy. Like, it's just relaxing to watch, just seeing a brow cut so precise and easy with like no problems. I did go back and I fixed her brow a little bit. I don't know if it was looking okay to y'all, but as a makeup artist, we notice everything. So I just wanted to bring this brow down maybe just a tad bit more, just to make it more like sisters to her other brow, because I just felt like it was a little too high, but we good now. So what y'all think? This is the final products of her brows. And you want to know something? Let's take this video a step further. I'm gonna just go ahead and show y'all my natural beat process. So we're just going to tap into it. This was like a little surprise because y'all thought it was just a brow tutorial, but no, wait, there's more. Now, like I said earlier, I love mixing. Normally, I don't know, I just be feeling different sometimes. I'm like, let me just be different. So I'm just mixing Born This Way foundation by Too Faced in the shade Mahogany. And I'm going in with NARS. And please do not kill me if I say this name, well, this shade wrong. But it's New Cat. I'm never going to try it, but I'm just mixing these two shades together and I'm gonna blend it all in. So right here, I'm just going back in with that lighter shade of concealer and placing it in the inner corner of her eyes. And now I am just going back in with that second shade I used earlier and placing it around the areas that I don't want overly highlighted. Using MAC Cosmetics concealer palette in the shade Dark, I am going in with the NC50 shade to contour her face. When it comes to contouring, I do not like to use a shade that's too dark. I try to stay neutral within the foundation shade that I used, just going in a tad bit deeper. Now for my favorite part, contouring the nose. So as you can see, I'm still letting that concealer sit where we highlighted so it can really create that really perfect snatched nose. So around that, I'm gonna just bring the contour higher to her brow bone and it's all gonna just come together. Alright, now it's time to blend out all of the highlighted areas. I always start with the forehead first. I start with the areas that have the warmer shade concealer so that I don't mix too much of that lighter concealer in that area. When blending out that under eye area, I feel like it is so important to stay in place of where you place the concealer. So depending on your preference, I know my preference with my clients. A lot of my clients will, some people have more chubby cheeks or wide cheeks, and that's why they love to highlight and contour to snatch their cheeks even more. So therefore, I do not like to drag the concealer all the way to their temple or toward their ear area, and that's gonna eliminate the look of a wider cheek. I like to stay within their under eye area so that it's more tight and gives a more natural look, if that makes sense. On to my favorite part, y'all. So baking time. I'm going in with Ben Nye's setting powder and banana powder and topaz. I swear by Ben Nye's setting powders. They come in all range of shades for all types of girls. I just love mixing any shades that I feel like will match my clients, and they always end up matching my clients. I never have a problem. Now we are on to the bronzing part. I'm going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in Cappuccino, and I'm going to use that to warm her face up and bring back some color. Also, to bring back some more color to her face, I love blush. Like, I cannot do a look without blush for my clients. I am using Juvia's Place or Juvia's Place, whichever you want to call them. I'm using their blush in Bella Blush, and I'm mixing that with NARS Cosmetic Blush in the color Savage. And this combination is really nice. I mix my blushes all the time too, y'all.
In fact, both local San Francisco papers are investing a lot of money to try and get a service just like that started. Science editor Steve Newman reports on one person already using the brand new system.
So while she bakes, this is where I just focus on the eye area. If I want to add any slight eyeshadow, eyeliner, lashes, or whatever it may be, since we're doing a natural soft glam. So right here, I'm just adding some liquid eyeliner on the top of her lash line. And this is by MAC Cosmetics in Graph Black. I highly recommend this liquid eyeliner. It's really nice. And I'm gonna just do the same on the other eye, and I just thicken up the eyeliner how I prefer it. The thicker the better, but not too thick now. So I know y'all gonna kill me, but I have to cut the video short right here. I have no choice because while I was recording, I was unaware that my phone was overheating as it was on the charger and recording under a ring light. So I was unaware that it had cut off, but this is the process step that I take my before and after photos here of my clients. She looks so beautiful before and after regardless. But yes, this is my simple, no basic glam that's available on AJ Beauty's website. You guys can keep up with me on here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and also keep up with me on AJ Beauty's Instagram page for updates and more content. Thank you guys so much for watching.